Hey everyone, I'm Sandalia BVS. I go by Sandy, and I was always inclined towards the arts. And I bring this up because just look at my room. That's how crazy I was about wanting to make film or be in the creative side of things. But somehow I've never gotten to it. Maybe it was my laziness, maybe it was a lot of other things. But over Corona season, I was consuming more and more content every single day. And this made me get the drive to be a content creator back. After a lot of thought, I was like, maybe I should start something. And then I chanced upon this idea of starting a podcast. And I named the podcast Soda with Sandy, where I talk to you guys about things I feel personally about. I invite guests that I think are cool, and I think everyone thinks they're cool, and they're objectively cool, and share their story with you guys as well. So, welcome to Soda with Sandy. Hey everyone, welcome to Soda with Sandy, and this time we're actually going to go on YouTube, Spotify, as well as Instagram. And for that, one of my first guests is Suman Mangu, and he's an independent music artist, and his primary focus is working on all of the Indian languages and primarily Hindi and Telugu. Welcome on here, man.
Hey, thank you so much, man. I'm so honored to be on your podcast.
Dude, the honor's on mine. I actually recently watched your new music video, and it's fire.
Oh yeah, thank you.
But I can't stop now. Baby girl, will you hear me through? I've been feeling kinda lonely, boo. Reminiscing all the days with you. Got me feeling like na 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 na. Tu hi meri pari. Mere liye hai tu bani. Tu hi to noor hai meri.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Yes.
I just showed it to my parents right when we were having lunch, and then I came in here again.
Oh damn! How did they like it?
Yeah, they actually liked it. It's really impressive that you actually went through with everything. You wrote the lyrics for it, you composed the music, you sang, and you acted and danced also, dude. You pulled it off.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's all it's a teamwork, obviously, with all my technicians, directors, producers, whatnot. They're all in it with me. So without their support, I wouldn't have done it.
No, I completely get that, man. You're being really down to earth, but you actually done it all. It looks like, sir.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
So how many different songs have you independent songs have you put out, dude? Because I was running a YouTube thing on you right before to see all the songs, and I saw your last song was Unplayed before this, and dude, you look really good in that one.
Oh, so yeah, so I came out with, this is the fourth one. The one I released yesterday was the fourth music video. So I've done 4 official. First one was Yentama, which was actually, I did the music, but then Vijay Prakash sir sang it. He's a big singer in India. So he's a playback singer, and he's also a music composer himself. But he worked with A.R. Rahman and all these big music directors. So I was very honored to have him sing my track, or he gave me the chance. So that was amazing.
Really amazing, honestly. So this person, how did you get in touch with this person for that opportunity?
So the opportunity came because back in the day when I was part of cultural events, you know how in we have cultural events like Telugu cultural events and stuff. So in those events, we hire the culture. The committee hires artists from India for Sankranti or Ugadi functions and stuff. So that's when one of the programs he was hired, and so from there I was just a local singing on stage, and I met him, and then we started. He started coming to the U.S. more, and I started meeting him more and more. And I was part of a group called Swaramadri. It's in Houston. So they have a group in Seattle now also. So Swaramadri, I used to sing on that a lot. So the founder of that is Ram Charu Garu. So he introduced me to all these people, all these artists. He has close connections so he has introduced me to all these people, and then I was part of TCA Cultural Association. I was part of the committee at one point. All this, so it all helped. The connection building helped now. So I guess that's how it happened.
That's kind of like awesome, honestly, and like,
Yeah.
because it's like all about like connecting the different dots that are in the
Yeah.
game, and then you go through with that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that was your first song you said, and that's really cool. So I'm like, I think I might actually like know who he is, but it's like really hard to put a face to the name. Like, is there like
yes, I'll tell you some songs. So Aadadugula Bullettu.
Oh, like the Pawan Kalyan song, yeah.
Yeah, Pavan Kalyan song, or like Niharika, or Come to the Party, Subbalakshmi. All these songs, so many, yeah. And Hindi, he sung in Swadesh. He was one of the singers on Jai Ho track. He sang for Hosanna, A.R. Rahman.
That's my actual like favorite song, like from him.
Yeah, the Ee Hridayam Kariginchi, that one. So yeah,
that's hype, honestly, man. And so, is that a song that you acted in as well, or
which one?
the first?
For Yentama, yes. So Yentama, I was the actor. I was the main male lead, but I didn't want to show my face at that time. I was more concentrated on my music. I didn't care about. So if you see the video, it would just be my back or my side or anything. It was mainly about the girl in that video. And then from there, it went to the second song, which was Cello. Cello was sung by Kala Bhairava. So Kirvani, composer Kirvani's son.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, and then that Bhuvana Chandra Garu wrote it. So he's Bhuvana Chandra Garu he wrote Bangaru Kodipetta and all these songs. So a lot of famous, from Chiranjeevi and Nagarjuna and all these people. He's a big. Oh, also Yentamma was written by Chandra Bose Garu. So
that's awesome, man.
So my first two tracks, luckily I got a lot of people, good big people in the industry on board, and then from the third, I decided I wanted to put myself out there more, not just as a music composer, but on screen, because I felt nowadays independent artists, it's all about portraying yourself. Mm-hmm. People are more connected to people that are more you'd say vulnerable to your audience. They want to know more about you. They want to know. That's how it is nowadays. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think I definitely saw the Cello song, because that's the boxing one, right?
Yeah, the boxing one. Yeah.
I watched that one. And then the recent one was the Ante one, and like.
Oh yes, Ante was my first. So Ante would be my first official me as an artist, as an independent artist, lyrics, music. So that's my official first. Mm-hmm. What I would consider my first.
I really like that one. I really like that one, and I like the new one a lot too, because I heard the Ante one. I think around it released a month ago, right? And that's when
it was like 2-3 months ago.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it happened in, I want to say May, June. I'm sorry, I forgot, but June sometime there. Yeah, I think
when we first connected, like that's around the time when.
Oh yeah, it was still going through the. Yeah, that's when.
I heard that then, and I was like, "Wow, this is like awesome!" Honestly, like yeah. And I'll actually play a bit of it right now on my. When the video is playing, I'll play a bit of this and a bit of like the new one. And like you guys can check out like Suman's like awesome YouTube channel where all of the 4 music videos are. And it's Suman Mangu on YouTube, right?
Yes, Suman Mangu.
Perfect.
Everywhere you can just type in Suman Mangu, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
This time you can just start moving the lines of the song. Okay, camera rolling.
Ante పిల్ల స్పీడు వింతే మాటలు చాలు అందే అల్లరి చూపులతోనే దో అంతే అంతే
you can see all his like amazing artwork and like yeah.
Thank you, man.
So yeah, coming on music videos and singing and all of that, there definitely has to be some sort of like drive behind it. What was your drive behind doing this in life?
My drive. So that's so I was always a classical singer. I grew up. Oh, I started at age 6. I Carnatic classical. I learned it was always that, that Indian, typical Indian boy girl thing. Go to Sangeetam class when you're young. Uh, Most parents try to put you in some art form, right? So I was the Sangeetam boy in my community. So my mom used to wake me up in the morning, take me 5 in the morning, and drive 1 hour. I was like, why am I going to this? There's like for 2 years I was stuck on basics, just the sari gama pada nisa, just basics. I was like, I don't like this. I don't want to do this. So it kept going on, and then many gurus. Went through many gurus, and at this point, I wasn't commercially into any. I didn't know much about the industry, like Telugu industry or Hindi. I wasn't listening to any of the movie songs or anything. So I was just more classical based. And then my first time I think my first movie that I remember that I went crazy for was Arya, 2004. So that's when like I was like, oh, this. I fell in love with the actor and the movie and stuff, and that's when I started listening to more song. Like I'm like, oh, there's something more than classical out here. I mean, I knew there was more than classical, but I was just not interested. And then I started like getting into stuff. I was watching movies and stuff, and then even here, like and from like 2000 to 2006, I had a friend group, and we were always listening to like 50 Cent, Akon back in the day. So then I started getting into all that, the Hollywood side, and so then I listened to all those, and I loved and Eminem, all these music videos. Very, I always used to watch them, just mesmerized, and I used to go when no one was like looking and try out dance steps, moonwalk and all these random stuff. I was like, at that point, I never saw myself as a musician. I was like, I want to be a stage performer or like an actor or something, because I was like, music, it's just classical. Why? Like, I don't want to do classical. But then slowly, high school is when I quit classical, and I got into singing. It's called light music. They call it light music. So I started learning classical cinema music, and then that's how I slowly, I was like, okay, I want to make covers. Okay, how do I make covers? I need a recording system and all that, or I need to go to a studio and record covers. I'm like, that's too expensive, like $50 an hour to pay to get my song recorded. I was a kid. I didn't have that type of money, and my parents weren't going to do that. I was like, okay. So this was late high school, early college. I was like, okay, let me start learning. So I went onto YouTube. I was like, how do you mix? How do you record? How do you master? All this stuff. So all that technical side of music. So that's how I built. And then I used to like provide sound systems to events. We have events like birthday parties or weddings or whatnot. So I used to go there and like DJ, and I bought my own system, like 4 speakers and all this and a mixer. And so I got more technical side savvy. And then finally, then I started like getting tunes in my head. So everything was a gradual process, right? You start first. So then I was like, oh, I want to compose something now that I know all this technical stuff. And I used to cut up music and make mixes and stuff. And then through that, I was like, oh, I can compose this, or this could sound better. So then composing came along. So 2000, I would actually say 2016 or 15 is when I started when I made my first song, just at home. I was just making random stuff, and it just sat there. I was like, oh, this is dope. Maybe in the future or something. And I kept making stuff, and so that's how all this led to be. So right now? So even till 2016, I was still like, I want to be a composer. Or I want to do something in music, but it's like it's not. It doesn't look like it doesn't sound realistic. It's like, come on, everyone around me, they're like going to Stanford, Harvard, engineering, MIT. I might have to end up doing that, you know. So I was like, okay, this could be a hobby. So then I got into college, and I was like, I still was confused about what I was doing, but I was like, and then college is over, and then I got then I got an IT job. You know, yay, IT. So I was like, I made my parents proud. They're like, everyone told everyone, my son has an IT job. So they were happy. And then I ended up, I did the IT job for a while and I quit because that's when I decided, that's when my drive actually started, is what I would say. I was like, I could not do the job. Like, I mean, I did the job, but I didn't like it. I wasn't happy. So I was like, you know, I'm already like 25. I need to pursue my passion or else I won't ever do it again. And I'll get stuck, you know? So I was like, whatever happens, I need to try my best. So I quit. And then the moment I quit, 2-3 months later is when Vijay Prakash sir came to the US for his tour. And then when he came to Houston, I met him up. I messaged him. I was like, hey sir, you're here. He's like, yeah, let's meet up. I mean, I took him to the venue and stuff too. So then he heard my song. I said, I started composing now. He's like, oh, let me hear the song. And then that's how that happened. So the moment I got that, the moment he said, hey, I would love to sing this song. Let's do something. Let me sing this song. Let me sing on the track, and we can get this released on Aditya Music and all this. So all this talks came about. That's when I was like, okay, that I did the right thing, or I'm on the right path. You know, sometimes you don't know if you're on the right path until that one moment. So that was that one moment for me. So since then, I didn't really look back. I still have doubts, but I didn't look back.
That's actually beautiful, and I hope you go a long way from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to sing in like all of these movies or do it like whatever you want to do with your stuff, man.
Definitely, man. Yeah.
Do you intend on singing in like film, or do you want to do more independent things? And
I am not opposed to working for a film. I would love to compose for a film. If it's not songs, at least background scoring, anything. For a film, I don't mind. But I really strongly felt that I want to also be independent, because you saw how COVID affected the whole industry. Like, it affected a whole industry. It affected many industries, but something like that, when it affects a whole industry, it's like you're a music producer. When it's in the industry, you're waiting for a director or producer to come to you and be like, hey, I want you to compose for my movie. I don't want to end up where I'm depending too much on other people. I would rather create my own story, visuals, and compose for it. So that's why I want to be an independent artist rather than only sticking to projects that other people give me. So that's what it is. So but I would love to do movies. Like, that's also in my bucket list and in the future.
that'd definitely be fun to do, right? Because
Yeah.
you meet people who you like watched on screen as a child. And
Oh yeah. I have a whole list of people I want to work for.
who are
But,
some
yeah.
of these guys, man? Like,
I mean, yeah, Telugu. I mean, Telugu, obviously, because I was brought up with the whole Telugu scene. Like, you know, I would love to compose for like Shekhar Kamala. Shekhar Kamala, I would say first, because I love doing love songs, more like good feel songs, and his style is very like his way of direction, I feel like his style would suit me. Like we would sync well, um, or maybe, and I would one day would love to do like these big actors like Allu Arjun, Mahesh Babu. But that's like that's like up there. Nani for sure. I heard Nani is giving chances more to new people, so like people like that. But I also in the the English scene, I would love to like collab with other artists one day, like any like big artists, like how baby
Hmm?
baby song, how he collaborated with Jason Derulo, so stuff like that, I'd love to do that too.
That's
So stuff like that, yeah.
even like independent movie like music artist is like Jaden. I like absolutely
Yeah.
love Jaden.
Oh yeah.
Like music videos and his style,
Yeah.
like everything. And there's like some kind of coolness with being independent because Jaden in a way is independent, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And he does his like thing and all of that. I know it like is a completely different ball game, but like who
Oh
Jaden
yeah.
is and like what comes with that. But he's still independent in his own way.
Yeah, he's definitely independent and he does his own thing, so that's really respectable. And that's I think even in our Indian industry, like independent artists should come up more, just because there's so much scope. Because music should never be restricted. I feel
Dude, have you
it should
heard?
just be. Huh?
Oh no, sorry. What were you saying? Sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying music shouldn't be restricted, and I think there's more scope for music in our industry.
I think last week or something, me and my friends were just like chilling, and I was driving around, and like they actually played one independent Indian artist. His name's Zayden, not Jaden, Zayden.
Zayden, okay.
Yeah, he has a song called Intezar, and like you should definitely check it out, man. It's actually pretty fire. He's like,
Oh man, I'll check it out. Send me the link, or I'll type it up later. Yeah.
and also I'm seeing a lot of independent like artists being picked up by big banners, and if that's something you're interested in, like this huge scope, so more power to you, man. Because
Oh yeah, man. I'm down. Yeah, keep going.
oh yeah, like like Farhan Akhtar is like making that movie with like Alia Bhatt, like and Priyanka and Katrina, right? And it's the road
Oh yeah.
that he's doing. The new
Yeah.
that he's not actually hiring someone who's like already big. He's hiring an independent like group called, I think it's called Local Train or something like that.
Mhm.
Or I might be getting it wrong, but he's definitely hiring an independent group that he's working with this time.
Oh, I did check that out. But yeah, definitely, I would love to get picked up by and work with big labels.
Yeah, and like that's kind of cool because people like as in are actually appreciating new age things, and someone like Farhan Akhtar who's on top of like the food chain of that industry almost is doing that. It's a good sign for like
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's like really really exciting with like the prospects of it because music's been around for like forever, and
Forever.
it's gonna go away anytime soon. If anything, is gonna people would need it more because everyone's so stressed all the time and like working and just in that rut.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and so what other things like drew like how much energy does it take to like put out one like song out there, dude?
It depends. So let's talk about the song that just released yesterday, right? Pyar Kar Le Tu and Prem Chua, two languages, Hindi and Telugu. That took a lot of energy, not from the audio side. So from the audio perspective, for me, it's like it doesn't take too much energy, but it does take a lot of planning. So when I think most artists, anyone in the creative field or anyone in general can relate to this, and especially the people in the entertainment industry. It's one thing to have talent or skill, but it's another thing to have good judgment. So I realized that now, like as I worked on multiple projects, that judgment is the key. You can have immense amount of talent or skill. You can like sing like crazy, do all these gamakas and runs with your voice. And if you have a certain song and you just go all out on it, but then you don't have the right judgment and you just put all your talent into it, you're gonna mess up the song, right? You need to know when to stop or when to do what. And so a big part of composing or creating something is all like a mind game. You're thinking more than you're actually, like, you think for like 5 hours and work for 1 hour, but that 1 hour is going to be very efficient because you thought for 5 hours about what to do. Yeah, like you're sleeping. Like, even when I'm not at the studio, most of the time I'm not in my studio like composing. I'm either driving. I'm most of the time on the road driving, and I just compose. And then when I get a tune, I record on my recorder. I just sing something or like hum something, and then go back at night and then work on it. So, and then record. So that's the recording aspect. So I've gotten better over the first song. It took me a long time to compose. Then slowly I gotten better and faster, and I know what works, what doesn't work, what shouldn't be there, what should. So the audio process became faster because I'm the one who's in control of mostly everything. I have a sound engineer in India. His name is Ram Gandikota. He's an amazing. He works for Telugu industry. He's recorded SPB Garu, SP Balasubramaniam. He's worked for Tam, some of Taman's songs. He has a studio that he records and mixes people's songs. So he's amazing. And I have a keyboard programmer. His name is Ishwar Dattu. So he's also, keyboard programming is basically whatever you hear in the song, all the instruments. Most of it's not live. It's actually done on a keyboard with synths and all that. So it's called programming, inputting all the. So anyways, I don't want to get too technical. So all these people come into play, and so we work together, and it's very simple. 2-3 people, me telling them how I want it, or them giving me input, and it's done. But when it comes to video has always been where everything takes time. Video is where everything prolongs because you have vision. And nowadays it's very hard. Back in the day, it was like you can listen to a song and enjoy it. Now everyone wants a visual. Everyone wants a connection. They want to be there. So you have to make a nice visual. You can't just make a. You can make a visual. So it's like you have to think about the visual, because if you mess up the visual, most of the time the song doesn't become a hit. Unless you're in a movie. You're in movies, then your song's going to become a hit regardless. But usually visuals, independent artists is all about visuals, a lot about visuals. And so visuals, it's like this song took like it kept postponing the shoot and stuff, and then we finally shot it, and then because of COVID and stuff, things were prolonged, things were paused, and so finally released it in now. But it should have been done like back in March or April. But yeah, so it takes a quite amount of effort and energy to plan a song till start to end.
That's honestly like you went through the entire vision board of it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like, and honestly, like all worked out really well towards it. So it's like awesome, honestly.
Yeah.
Dude, I was really thinking about like the independent music artist thing after you like said that India needs more independent music artists, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard a few like independent music artists from India, but most of them were like Hindi centric, as in.
Oh yeah.
You ever heard of Pratik Kohad?
No, I'm actually bad with names, but I probably have heard songs and stuff. But yeah,
I think he's someone who came to like university in America. He finished his undergrad here. He went back and he started working on his independent like songs and everything there. And I think he's doing pretty well for himself. He does concerts and he does all of that, and
Yeah.
like he works also with like some movies, especially if they work with his creative vision. I know he sang for Bar Bar Dekho with Siddharth Malhotra and Katrina Kaif and everything.
Okay.
He sang a song in that, and he works on Netflix stuff and all of that.
Awesome. Yeah.
I think if you see him, you might recognize who this man is.
I probably will.
But I don't know if it's just me, or I don't actually listen to that much Telugu music, so I don't know if it's like I don't know anyone, but I can't think of anyone like particularly that is in the Telugu English space, because Pratiko has like a mix between like English and Hindi, and like Javier things English and Telugu, right? And like even though you're doing Hindi, like
so
Telugu is like your forte.
Yeah. Good question. I don't know many. Yes, there are a few in Hyderabad. Like in India, like they have there's bands. They're more of band groups. What I've heard. I'm not sure much about what goes on in Hyderabad and Andhra Pradesh much, but I've heard some independent artists, Telugu independent artists, back in the day. Now I'm not sure too much. I know like a lot of the singers now, like the big singers that been singing for movies, they are composing their own songs. So they're trying to branch out to independent artistry too in Telugu. So like Hemachandra, I know Hemachandra is a singer. He sang for a lot of Mani Sharma musics and stuff. He's a pretty famous singer. He's part of Super Singer 5 and whatnot. So
I know who that is. Like I've seen him on screen.
Oh, okay, cool. So,
some of those
yeah,
shows.
but I think he's been doing, and Karunya has also been doing his own. So I know a few people that are doing independent art, but it's again, like you said, it's not to a scale where people are like, oh my god, right? It's not like in Hindi how it is. Like it's not like that. It's not to a grand scale.
Yeah, also, I think the industry is bigger over there. You know,
obviously,
like,
it's in Hindi, so
yeah, it's like all of India can understand. Most of India can understand.
Yeah.
Please, yeah. So that's something. But it's still like even the Telugu states by themselves. The good part is India has like a 1.6 billion population.
Yeah. So it's like
the Telugu states are like maybe 100 million, maybe. I don't know exact numbers, but probably.
Yeah.
So, dude, yeah, like, what are some songs that you would recommend, like, to anyone who is like watching this, like, 5 of your favorite songs? I know that's like putting you on the spot, especially as like even a regular person, it's hard, but as someone who's actually a musician, singer, it's like really hard probably. But just a few songs. Let's not say 5. Let's not even like order. Like let's like put out the orders and everything.
Let me see. I've never. Favorite songs, huh? What do you mean, like English or Telugu or just in general, anything?
Anything that like actually was like, oh my god, I want to be like that, or I want to do that.
You know what? Recently, like you know the album that, oh my god, Justin Bieber came out with
Peaches and everything.
Not Peaches, yeah. In that album, there's a song, the story with the girl. They have a whole story to it where I forgot the name. I was listening to this like for like a whole month. It was on repeat.
Peaches album, right? Let me pull it up actually. Like we'll see.
Pull it up real quick. Yeah.
I'll just call it the Peaches album, dude. Honestly, everyone knows that.
Yeah, the Peaches album. There's a.
It's what is this even called? Like, what's this album called? I have no idea, but okay, one of Justin's songs.
Yeah, one of Justin's songs. I thought it was really like creative what he did, and like the whole thing about helping out community. It was more of a I think it was female oriented too. So that was really cool to see him do that. And Quavo was on it. Quavo and him.
I think I actually have it pulled
That
up
song.
right now. It's
The one with Quavo in it.
Justin. So Quavo and Justin are on.
There's like multiple, but that Quavo and
Just as I am, deserve you too much, off my face, unstable,
no, wait.
die for you.
It's the one that goes picture perfect. You don't need no filter. No. You probably heard that song. It was in Peach. Yeah. So, anyways, that song, man. So the reason for this stuttering is because I stopped trying. I don't listen to music too much nowadays like I used to, only because I do listen to a lot of music, but it's like in short amounts because I don't want to get influenced. I don't want to get into that space where I'm like copying. I don't want to get influenced, so I try not to listen too much. But when I'm like having fun or just driving around, I'll listen and then I forget. Like I just listen, it goes into my mind, and then I don't think about it too much. So that's how I've been going at this whole thing because I don't want to be, because you've seen so many like people like, oh, this guy only does this style. I really don't want to fall into that, so I'm trying to do everything different. But I do take inspirations, so that's why if you ask me like songs, I'm like, I have songs that I like a lot of songs, but I don't think about them too much.
No, I completely get that.
I just do it. I just listen to enjoy, because music now is, for me, it's since I made it a profession. So now like my way, if you ask me for my hobbies, it's not music anymore. it's like hanging out with friends. That's my hobby. But if I'm listening to music, I just listen to have fun, and then I forget about them.
No, I completely get that one. So let's put aside like all of that stuff then. And who's someone who inspires you? Like who was someone who you look up to in the industry or in like any music industry in general across the world? It can be like American songs. It can be like Indian songs. Like I know like there's so many other industries, so many other your people who you want to model. Like it's not even model your career after. Who's someone you look up to and for like styles of singing or composing or whatever.
I really I used to I look up to a lot of early in my days, even till now, kind of DSP. He was one that I looked up to a lot because he performed. He was a performer and a composer. He wasn't only back end, but he also came on stage and performed. So I thought that was new for me when I was growing up, because there weren't any people that did that in the Telugu industry, right? So he's definitely someone that influenced me a lot in my early music side of things. And then I really like Sid Sriram. He's very inspiring to the point where it's like he came from Berkeley, right? So he was
like a relatability factor because you both
grew up here, and like he was discovered by Rahman and all that. So I think that is definitely a model that it's you wouldn't call it a model because I think it happened by chance. It's not like we're sitting here like, oh, Rahman's gonna. So I wouldn't call that a model, but it's like something that is really cool. You know, it doesn't happen much, and there's just a lot of people, man. Eminem is definitely my first, he's very inspiring, and I think his lyrical sense, I like his lyrical sense and how he puts words together that they don't necessarily rhyme if you just say it normally, but he twists the words to make it sound good. I like the way he does it, and his from put aside music aspect, but his confidence, his arrogant, like he's not. I wouldn't say arrogant, but in his early, he's like very confident and stuff like that. You know, people, it, people that influence me change as time goes. Like I take like aspects from everyone. I'm like, oh, this guy is inspiring. This girl is inspiring. So stuff like that.
Completely get that, man. And
Yeah.
hopefully, like, you get a point where you get to work with all of these people, and like, yeah, hopefully,
Yeah.
that happens. Yeah, that's actually really like exciting. So like the prospects are just like enormous after the everything's online now. You can network pretty easily, and hopefully like
Yeah.
on like with some of your like favorite people.
Yeah, that's crazy how everything's so it's right there at the tip of your fingers.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
That you had the journey from basically hating to go to Sangeetam classes to going there to actually
Yeah.
be a profession. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for being on like Soda with Sandy today. I know
No
you're
problem, man.
in like your short film schedule, and like I recently saw on Instagram you signed a contract for being
Oh
on.
yeah. Yeah. That was very much unexpected, but it happened, and I'm grateful for it. So thank you, man. Thank you for having me. I'm very honored.
You know, thank you so much. And everyone who listened so far, please check out Suman Mangu's channel on like YouTube, and you'll actually find all of his like music videos and all of his other performances on there. And it's really really cool to like see you like basically transition from like that, like initially working with people and composing to doing something on your own, to like coming out with one single after another. Hope you see
Yeah,
more.
yeah, man. Definitely.
Yeah, like hopefully we get to like do another podcast sometime later. But thank you so much for being the first one on the video part of my podcast on YouTube. So thanks again.
That's awesome, man. I'm excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you.